So here we're providing just a really basic framework for supervision through a list of 7 supervisory responsibilities. These are setting expectations and taking a baseline assessment. That's 1. 2, teaching, training, and delegating effectively. 3, giving kudos and corrective feedback regularly, continuously. 4, recognizing progress and rewarding achievement. 5, articulating and enforcing consequences. 6, managing conflict. And 7, providing support. Next slide, please. So looking at all of those, I'm not going to take a deep dive today into each of those responsibilities, but I do want you to know in the landing page at the end, there's a link to a series of videos that we actually did for supervisors back in fall of 2021. And it goes through specifically if you want to know more detail about each one of these roles, just so you know that that's available. But for this workshop and to make sure that you guys have time to really think through this piece for yourself, we're going to really focus on the first responsibility, which is we found is really foundational to sort of laying the groundwork for understanding between you and your supervisor. And this is around setting expectations and taking a baseline assessment. Okay, next slide, please. And so in these next activities we're doing, we're just kind of like taking that big overarching view of supervision and then breaking it down into sort of smaller and smaller parts and sort of manageable chunks. And the first way we do this is by thinking about this tell-no list. So the tell-no list is information that's sort of ideally communicated and shared between a supervisor and an employee within the first few weeks or possibly first couple of months of a new position. On the tell side is a checklist of information that a supervisor can share to help an employee gain a clear understanding of what is expected of them regarding their performance and conduct in their new role, around work responsibilities, progress, evaluation, decision-making, interpersonal expectations, how things generally function in at a particular workplace or organization, boundaries and limitations. On the left-hand side, sorry, that was the left-hand side. On the right-hand side is the no side of the list, which covers information a supervisor would gather or potentially an employee would share for a supervisor to obtain a clear understanding of their employees' baseline knowledge, skills, and abilities. There's really, and so this really goes around, like I said, knowledge, skills, previous experience working with supervisors, work styles, strengths and growth areas, and general concerns. There's a variety of ways for this type of information to be shared between a supervisor and a new employee. This could be everything from one-on-one conversations to a set of documentations. It could be talking to other employees in the group or watching videos. There's a variety of ways to get this information shared back and forth, but it's nice we found that it's been helpful for our students to just have a framework to look through and be like, okay, what kind of information do I need? What kind of information does my supervisor need about me, right? In order to understand like, okay, these are the tasks that I'm going to need to do. Do I have any background experience in that? How do I have I previously worked with a supervisor? What are my concerns in general in completing these tasks so they can start having that conversation earlier on? The goal here is to provide you, as I said, with a tool in which you can identify the information that's already been shared between you and your supervisor, and what information and what discussions might still need to occur so that you have a full understanding of what your job is, and that your supervisor, again, has a strong understanding of your baseline knowledge, skills, and abilities. Frequently, when we see issues arise, it's because there's a lack of understanding for us, it's traditionally been between interns and their internship mentors, but also between employees and supervisors regarding one of these areas. So again, this is a list to really help you potentially pinpoint in the future where an issue may be coming from and engage in a conversation to build greater understanding and clarity around one of these aspects.